earlymorningmob.com. Live from FEMA Region Bourne. Is that you, Space? Sounds from space. earlymorningmob.com. Golden Show, Golden Debate Show. Live from FEMA Region. I know it mine's not empty ones. I feel like I'm floating or something, y'all. I feel like I'm floating, y'all. Float with me. Like, comment, share, and download. Golden Show. Alright, enough of that. Live from FEMA Region 1. Open minds, not empty ones. Take care of yourself and another. Let's get it going. Yeah. Every Wednesday and every Saturday, Golden Show, Golden Debate Show, earlymorningmob.com. Originality lock. Shine your gold in this vampire darkness world. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm already struggling. I'm sure we're going to have a good show. Technically, you just get up here and just jibber. No, technically, get up here, play a couple clips, discuss shit, try to enlighten. I don't know. Probably ain't working though, so let's get them hits up. Sorry, everybody. Couple kick.
Wow. What is the
in place are appropriate. More broadly,
We'll see another. We'll have
the
to have
CDC and our various health agencies are going to be working very intently with the World Health Organization and some of our partner countries to make sure that we can surge some resources down there and organization to these countries that are pretty poor and don't have a strong public health infrastructure, so that we can start containing the problem. Keep in mind that Ebola is not something that is easily transmitted. That's why generally outbreaks dissipate. But the key is identifying, quarantining, isolating those who contract it, and making sure that practices are in place that avoid transmission. And it can be done, but it's got to be done in an organized, systematic way, and that means that we're going to have to help these countries accomplish that. All right? Okay, there you go, April. That's what I was talking about. Somebody finally wished me happy birthday. Although it is until Monday. You're right. You're right. Thank you so much. All right, guys.
There's the president.
Break it down.
Barack Obama has revised
the
list of quarantinable communicable diseases. Now, he did so July 31st, 2014. Now, he focused in, as you can see here, on the severe acute respiratory syndromes that are associated with the fever, signs of symptoms.
We came, we saw,
pneumonia,
he died.
illness. This does not apply to influenza, swine flu, bird flu, I guess things of that nature. So as you look here, he's looking at severe acute respiratory syndromes, and that would also be MERS, Middle East Respiratory Syndrome. So SARS, MERS, things of this nature, these are the things they are targeting when looking at quarantining people from here on out. Signed, Barack Obama. So I just wanted to point it out. They do these things and most of the public goes unaware, but this is what's happening. I'll leave a link in the description box as always, and as we see of any more, I'll keep you guys posted. This has been
007. Golden Show, Golden Debate Show.
Bachman is now warning that President Barack Obama may want immigrant children in this country so that he can organize medical experiments to be conducted on them. This is Michelle Bachman on the Wall Builders Live program. Wall Builders, of course, referring to the U.S.-Mexico border wall that they would like to see built. Let's listen to a little bit of Michelle Bachman here.
I will tell you from personal experience, we don't have enough foster parents now in the country for the kids in America. We certainly don't have enough foster parents for all of the illegal aliens that the president is trying to bring in right now. But again, that's more kids that you can see how no, we can't imagine doing this.
Yeah.
But if you have a hospital and they are going to get millions of dollars in government grants if they can conduct medical research on somebody, and a ward of the state can't say no. A little kid can't say no if they're a ward of the state. So here you could have this institution getting millions of dollars from our government to do medical experimentation, and a kid can't even say no, it's sick.
You have to hand it to Michelle Bachmann. She can pivot in mere microseconds from these children are invaders, Obama isn't protecting us against them, Republicans must stop them, to, listen, these are just poor children, and President Obama wants to conduct experiments on them. Republicans, please help. Is Michelle Bachmann making a case for abortion? What is she actually suggesting here?
This is incredible. First, she starts talking about how immigrants are killing and raping people in this country.
Right.
Now maybe she realized, well, she's not going to be able to keep the children out. So by using that method, maybe now we just tell people that the children are in danger of being.
Now that is some crazy twist that even I couldn't think of.
Hello, Truth Loaders. Today we're going to talk about how the bare-chested, judo master,
how he got that money,
tiger-pacifying, untouchable leader of Russia has amassed control of huge capital when Kremlin officials say his salary is a mere $187,000 a year. In 2007, a secret CIA report seen by the New York Times said Putin's wealth stood at $40 billion, and that figure is said to be around 60 to 70 billion today. If Putin does control 40 billion in assets, he would be the world's current richest leader, making him more affluent than the King of Thailand, who is worth $30 billion. Pocket change to Putin. If Vladimir has acquired this multi-billion-pound fortune, he would have done it by controlling 3 of Russia's biggest energy companies: Surgutneftegas, Gunvor, and Gazprom. It's claimed that he indirectly controls a 37% stake in Surgutneftegas, an oil exploration company with annual revenue of $20 billion. Putin indirectly controls half of Gunvor, a Swiss-based oil trading company that has won a series of state contracts whose takings were $80 billion last year. Then there's the 4.5% stake in Gazprom, the state's energy plant. Fiona Hill, a Russia expert formerly at the National Intelligence Council, thinks Putin's inner circle is itself behind this. And who's the president of Surgutneftegas? Vladimir Bogdanov, a confidant of Putin during the 2004 Russian presidential election, who is an oil tycoon, the third wealthiest Russian, and a member of the Khanty-Mansi legislature, which produces the majority of oil in Russia, giving it great economic importance. Bogdanov has ties to the Kremlin, running Putin's maiden election campaign in West Siberia in the year 2000. As a known supporter of the defense and nuclear industries, Putin will go to extreme lengths to protect Russia's legacy. In a 2012 newspaper article, Putin thanked Bogdanov and Surgutneftegas personally for funding a Pacific nuclear submarine base in 2002 when the state couldn't afford to finance it. It's believed Putin has influence over Gunvor, which up until recently was run by Gennady Timchenko, a close friend of the president's. On the 19th of March 2014, Timchenko was included in the United States sanctions list in the wake of the annexation of Crimea by Russia due to his close ties with the Russian president, and it's thought because of this he had to sell his entire
Bob
stake
Dylan,
in Gunvor.
Golden Debate Show, LimitMouth.com. It's an anti-war song, y'all.
And the Civil War too was soon laid away. And the names of the heroes I was made to memorize, with guns in their hands and God on their side.
Joe Rogan Experience. Golden Show.
Hello.
Is that Dana White you got with you on some UFC shit?
Amateur fights?
Box them in the face or something.
I fought in the amateurs. And dude, there was a time
so you gotta laugh a little, learn a little, learn a lot.
And I think that's why
and you gotta stay physical.
Deal with the fighters, and I understand, like dealing with the Ultimate Fighter. Mm-hmm. There was a fucking time in a day when there was the only fucking thing I cared about was boxing. That's why I literally walked out of that place, because I loved it so much that that's all I fucking wanted to do. The problem is you go out there and you start fucking, that's what I wanted to do for a living. And then the reality starts to set in, and I'll never forget. I mean, I've told this story before, but I was in the gym one day, and there was this dude who was a local fighter. I don't say his name. You would probably fucking know him if I said his name. I guarantee you know him. Science. Because he was famous in the Boston area, like a local guy.
This is science.
And he came in one day, and he was in his early 30s. He was like 31 or 32. And he was fucked up. He was punchy. He fucking moping around, kind of throwing fucked up. And I remember the day that I looked at him, I said, fuck, what if that happens to me? And then the minute you fucking start thinking like that, you're not the real deal. You're not, no matter how much you think you want it or you think you do. It was the day I realized that I wasn't. And I was fucking like, wow. So then you start going, how the fuck am I going to make a living doing this? And me and this dude, Peter Welsh from Boston, started, teaching people how to box. Basically, businessman and stuff, because the business model wasn't, for instance, like martial arts. If you want to take a martial arts class, there's fucking 50 martial arts studios anywhere in any city, anywhere in the world, and there has been since I was a kid.
We came,
right?
We saw, and died.
Lack of martial arts schools around your place when you were growing up?
No. But if you want to box,
you
got to go and fight.
You got to go get your fucking head punched in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially, the places in Boston.
Oh, yeah.
You had the Somerville Boxing Club. You had the fucking place down at the McDonough down in South Boston.
Yeah, yeah.
And some the Petronelli's down in
Brockton.
Yeah, in places like that. And you went in, and they would you'd get your dick knocked loose, right? And if you came back, maybe they'd fucking work with you.
Well, even guys that liked you would do that. Like I got trained by Joe Lake, and that's what he did with me. He just stuck me in with guys who knew how to box.
That's what they all do.
Fuck beat out of
That's what they all do.
Yeah,
yeah.
They do it quickly too. Like right from the beginning. Find out how much you enjoy doing this. Do you really want to do this? Am I wasting my time here?
That's exactly right.
I'm going to teach you how to throw some punches, and then we're going to put your headgear on. Let me put your fucking Vaseline on your face. Yeah. Get in there, kid. Show me what you got.
The first time I ever went into box, they had me do fucking ring circles. You know what those are, right? Where you go laterally around the ring.
Uh-huh.
Fucking coming in every day, they have ring circles, ring circles, ring circles, ring circles. And I was like, what the fuck? I paid my dues here. I paid my fucking $8. You know what I mean?
Right.
I fucking got mad one day. I said, hey, I came here to learn how to fucking box, man. I've been running around in circles.
Uncle Adam and Uncle John, No Agenda Show. Check them out at noagenda.com. This is the Golden Show.
Excellent.
Golden Debate Show, actually. Everyone.com. Check out the Golden Cuts, the Golden Reel, and everything we do. Like, comment, share, and download, huh?
A little bit of heroin. That's just a piece of crap. Yeah, I guess there's that implication.
No. Exactly.
Talking about the thing, there's a meme going on. I don't know where it's headed. You might have some thoughts on this. I don't know if you even picked it up, but you probably did. About the 28 missing pages.
And we talked about this. We played the clip.
Yeah.
And there is a website which we promoted.
Oh, there's a website. I don't know about the website.
28pages.com or .org, I think. Yeah, they tweeted me and I retweeted them. Yeah, this is, people are, they want this out. They want the 28 pages of the 9/11 Commission report. Declassified.
Okay, so I have a clip that just came out with the Glenn Beck, and he's got some guy on who read the thing, and they're hand wringing over it, and the guy can't say anything. And by the way, if a congressman read this thing and he signed, no matter what he signed, he can go. I mean, if this thing is so important, that's what makes me think it's not important, or I think this is some sort of a red herring. This 28 pages. A congressman can go on the floor and say whatever they want. They can reveal state secrets on the floor of the House.
And is that true?
Yeah. You're immune from anything. Any legal action, you're immune from all legal action from whatever you say on the House floor.
Huh.
And that's what these guys have been bitching about, the guys who moan and groan about the NSA. I think it was Snowden or one of these, or Luke Greenwald, or some of these guys have mentioned that these guys, they bitch and moan, but they could say some of the stuff on the House floor, but they won't do it. because it's a gentleman's agreement, essentially. So somebody could go out and say exactly what's in this 28 pages on the House floor, but they won't do it. So we get this sort of thing, and then I wanted to discuss it one more time.
Some sense of control. Right now, all of those things are upside down. Congressman Massey joins me now from Washington, D.C. Congressman, how are you?
Doing well, Glenn. Thanks for having me on.
I'm concerned.
This is the guy who did the press conference, Massey. We played the clip.
There's been a bunch of these guys, right?
Well, this is the guy we played the clip.
Because I know you can't say anything because anything that you say can and will be held against you. So you're going to have to talk cryptically here. But I was gravely disturbed by your description where you said you had to stop and refigure history every couple of sentences. Can you give us any other description other than that?
Well, absolutely. You know, when 9/11 happened and shortly thereafter, we were all like sponges. We're trying to absorb as much information to understand the who, the what, the why, the where. And then, but at some point, you quit collecting information because there's no more information to be had, or you think there's no more information. And it all sort of sets up like concrete in your brain. Well, as I was reading these 28 pages, I had to try and take apart that concrete that had set up, my own understanding of what had led up to 9/11 and what had enabled it. And then also what really hurt me was to wonder, why did my government keep this from me for 13 years? What were their motives? And there will be anger, frustration, and embarrassment when these 28 pages finally come out. Those are all emotions that you described that I had.
I just had a thought about this.
Okay, good.
It's the timing. The timing that is most interesting. I'm sure that what's in it is something about Mossad or Israel. And I believe that's why it has come to the forefront now.
Well, the two key words in this, and that's the reason I wanted to reintroduce the topic, because we didn't really get anywhere.
1 million-year-old human artifacts have been found in South Africa. Archaeologists from the University of Toronto and the University of Cape Town have unearthed a number of early to middle Pleistocene stone artifacts, including hand axes, flakes, and other tools. This is in a site called the Kathu Townlands. It's one of the richest archaeological sites in South Africa. It is up to 1 million years old. This is incredible, Lewis. And immediately after this happened, I started getting emails from Christian apologists who often email me about this type of thing, trying to debunk exactly what was found here. Of course, many of these Christian young Earth apologists believe that the Earth is 6,000 to 10,000 to 12,000 years old, and that every single one of these discoveries contradicts their worldview. I looked a little bit into the timeline of human history. About 1 million years ago, humans were already in the genus Homo, with Homo erectus appearing about 1.8 million years ago. Homo erectus did bear a resemblance to modern humans. They had a smaller brain, only about 3/4 the size of our brain. They had a less sloped forehead than Homo habilis, and also smaller teeth rather. 1.2 million years ago may have been Homo antecessor, and 600,000 years ago was Homo heidelbergensis. So, Lewis, scientific evidence mounting about the incredibly fascinating history of humans. And I actually recently read the Oxford Very Short Introduction to Prehistory. And I find this just incredibly fascinating. And to me, the Christian apologists that email me, I don't pay much attention to them. They're just getting in my way.
They're getting in everyone's way. But not getting in the way of science in this case.
You might could be to the Judge Strimmer. Maybe I'm the beginning of the end of antibacterial soaps. There is very little evidence that antibacterial ingredients used in common soaps actually do anything in the long run to fight bacteria compared to regular soaps. There is, however, lots of evidence that there is breeding a new generation of superbugs, pathogens which develop resistance to drugs. Basically, reckless use of antibacterial substances in antibiotics has trained pathogens to become more and more dangerous. But that might change in the near future. Trisoline, a potent antibacterial agent able to kill most types of bacteria, both healthy and disease-causing ones, It is commonly used in hospitals where it's likely to save millions of lives from infection. However, it is also used in smaller concentrations for numerous household cleaning products, including antibacterial soaps and pesticides. When bacteria are exposed to low doses of traceline, as with any other antibacterial substance, they will use as much energy as possible to protect themselves from the threat. If the dose is low enough, they can succeed, and then you end up with a much more resilient breed of bacteria. What doesn't kill them makes them stronger. Recently, the FDA and the EPA co-announced that they are taking a closer look at how trisaline is used in an attempt to limit its use in household and pesticides. There is, as I said, little to no evidence that trisaline actually has a better effect than its convenient conventional alternatives. The exception here are toothpaste, which has proven to be more effective against gingivitis. The state of Minnesota has already phased and placed a ban on the substance will come into effect in 2017. And Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, and Avon have already committed to phasing out trisaline in all their products by 2015. It seems that finally authorities have stated and started to acknowledge the seriousness of the drug-resistant microbe situation. However, this is just a substance, and it has several other alternatives, but it's a start. But we all have to play our part. Avoid reckless use of antibiotics and antibacterial cleaning products and stick with regular soap, which is extremely effective as it is. 7 signs you have too many toxins in your life. You think you're healthy, but you don't feel vibrant. You struggle to find the energy to get through the day. You're irritable, your stomach isn't acting right, and all those headaches. Those type of ailments affect many of us in our daily lives. They're not serious enough to warrant a trip to the doctor, and maybe you're tired only to be told that there is nothing wrong. But they still tend to drag you down, wearing away your resistance and leaving you feeling like you're just getting old. I have good news for you. It probably has nothing to do with aging. Instead, you might just simply be surrounded by too many toxins. Not sure? Here are 7 signs to look for and how you could clean up your system and feel better in 30 days, everybody. Golden Joe. 1. Constant fatigue. Even if you're sleeping well, you might fight to get through the day. This could be a sign that your body is working hard to get rid of the toxins you're pouring into it. How could you cope with fatigue? If your answer is more coffee or sweet foods, you could bet that you're only making the problem worse. That fatigue could also be in response to hormone disruptors that are zapping your immune system. 2. Stubborn weight gain. Is it easy to lose weight? No. But if you're exercising daily and cutting back on calories and you're still putting on the pounds, you could be looking at a hormonal problem. Sure. Strangely enough, our natural hormones and function could be greatly affected by the toxins in our food and personal care products. You need a complete detox of your diet. Where is the rest of it? I wouldn't even read that shit. You know, with the Teflon and the plastic everything's packaged in, just the shit's garbage to begin with. St. Charles, Michigan. Area man is dead after crashing his vehicle into a bee-infested home. Authorities said the incident happened Wednesday afternoon when a 54-year-old man apparently had a medical emergency and lost control of his car just west of M52 and crashed into an abandoned home in St. Charles. Most of Detroit's abandoned. But in St. Charles, about 85 miles northwest of Detroit, witnesses were unable to help the man because of the home, which hasn't been occupied in years, was swarming with bees. It was so infested they couldn't get to him. Singing saw County Sheriff Lieutenant Randy Feud told Saginaw News. Saginaw, there we go, Saginaw News. Few said neighbors attempting to help the man attached a tow strap to his car and pulled it away from the home as rescue crews responded. The man's name wasn't immediately released. Authorities are awaiting autopsy results to determine the exact cause of death. That's not good. So he probably had a medical emergency, crash to that shit, and died. But abandoned house? Come on, man. The bees are living in more houses in Detroit than people are. Yeah, so I'm not sure if I read this before, folks, but let's just rehash it anyway. How music affects us and promotes health. Music is one of the few activities that involves using the whole brain. It is eccentric into all cultures that it can have surprising benefits not only for learning language, improving memory, and focusing attention, but also for physical coordination and development. Of course, music could be distracting if it's too loud or jarring, or if it competes for our attention. But what we're trying to do, for most part, is exposure to most kinds of music has beneficial effects. Number 1, music heals. Effective therapy for pain. Overall, music does not have positive effects on pain management. Overall, music does does have a positive effect on pain management. Music can help reduce both the sensation and distress of both chronic pain and post-positive pain. Listening to music can reduce chronic pain from a range of painful conditions, including osteoarthritis, disc problems, and rheumatoid arthritis by up to 21%, and depression by up to 25%, according to paper in the latest UK-based journal. Music therapy is increasingly used in hospitals to reduce the need of medication during childbirth, to decrease postpartum pain and and amnesia during surgery. Music serves as a distractor. Music may give the patient a sense of control. Music causes the body to release endorphins and reducing blood pressure. By playing recordings of relaxing music every morning and evening, people with high blood pressure can train themselves to lower their blood pressure and keep it low. According to one research at the American Society of Hypertension in New Orleans, listening to just 30 minutes of classical Celtic music every day may significantly reduce high blood pressure. I'm strumming, everybody. Medicine for the heart. Music is good for your heart. Research shows that the music tempo rather than style. Italian and British researchers recruited young men and women, half of whom were trained musicians. The other participants slipped on headphones and listened to 6 styles of music, including rap and classical pieces with random 2-minute pauses. As the participants kicked back and listened, the researchers monitored their breathing, heart rates, and blood pressure. The participants had faster heart rates and breathing rates when they listened to lively music. When the music slowed, so did their heart. We kind of know that. BMPs. Speed post-stroke recovery. A daily potion of one's favorite pop melodies, classic music, or jazz can speed recovery from debilitating strokes, according to the latest research. When stroke patients in Finland listen to music for a couple hours each day, verbal memory and attention span improved significantly compared to patients who receive no musical stimulation or who listen to only stories read out loud. The study reported chronic headache and migraine remedy. Music can help migraine and chronic headache sufferers reduce sensitivity frequency during the headaches by listening to classical music. Music boosts immunity. Music can boost immune function. Scientists explain that the release of endorphins in particular types of music can create positive and profound emotional experiences, which leads to the secretions of immune-boosting hormones. This helps contribute to a reduction in the factors responsible for illness and helps with inflammation. Bam! Golden Show, Golden Debate Show every Wednesday and Saturday. Early morning, my nigga. End it with a little happiness and love, everybody. But just while I'll point, you ever thought what it's like to be a fly and you're stuck between the windows and you're almost there, but you're not quite there?
We came,
I don't know, everybody. Golden Show, Golden Debate Show, my mom that game.
The Motor City filed for bankruptcy on July 18th. They write approximately 40% of the city's streetlights don't work. Average police response time is about an hour. The city is in debt, $18 billion. But the federal government is going to give them $108 million in federal aid. So how does that rack up? I mean, you'd think that we should be helping, charity begins at home. We should be helping Detroit before we help the rest of the world. So we're going to give $108 million to Detroit. We're giving $121 million to Somalia. We're giving $135 million to Zimbabwe. We're giving $135 million to Côte d'Ivoire.
With doors
We're giving $157 million to Liberia, $160 million to Ghana, $165 million to Bangladesh, $165 million to
untold numbers of citizens, and because of the crisis which is even now developing, this radio station will remain on the air day and night. This station and hundreds of other radio and TV stations throughout this part of the country are pooling their resources to export and port hookup to keep you informed of all
Take care of
developments.
yourself and others, everybody. Every Saturday and every fucking Wednesday. Thanks for listening to The Golden Show. All thoughts and opinions are solely that of the host, guests, and sources, and is only to keep people alive.
Talking about all that talking like this, like that, all day in your hood. Golden shows, golden roads, strobe lights, laser lights. Look at my gold, tripping tonight. Happy shit, one more, tone it up. Notice it. We're talking like this, talking like that. We're talking. Golden debate show. Go. Golden Debate Show. Golden
This little golden light of mine.
We're talking hood. Draw the line. Anything that fucking being said. You know I'm coming after that. Golden Show. Golden 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 what?